Android 15 is here for the Google Pixel 9 lineup. Did anything change? Welcome back. This is Julian with Juleon Tech Reviews, and we're here with a quick analysis of Android 15, now brought to you on the Google Pixel lineup. Right here, I have my trusty Google Pixel Fold, and we're going to go over some of the changes that occurred on Android 15. But before we get into that, if you can please like and subscribe to this channel, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you for all those subscriptions, and we are going to get on with it. Now, this review, we're going to talk about three main sections of changes in the Android 15 system. So we're going to talk about the home screen and everything dealing with the home screen, one. And then we're going to talk about all the settings that changed, two. And then we're going to talk about wallpapers, three. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the home screen. Now, some of these changes are not groundbreaking and exciting, but we're going to talk about them anyways because they are changes. You might upgrade your Android 15 and you're looking and saying, okay, what happened and what changed? This video is going to help you out. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about on the home screen, and I have my foldable here, is the screenshot preview window. Okay, so it changed a little bit. So let's go ahead and take a screenshot. Let's see. The first way I'm going to do it is hit the power button and the volume down button. And as you can see, the screenshot preview here is glowing. Before it didn't. Whoop-de-doo, right? But it's a change nevertheless. The next thing we're going to talk about is the volume slider. So the volume slider right here is a little bit longer, and it does a haptic feedback when you go up and down on the volume. So you feel a slight haptic response once you go up and down the slider. And then also the preview screen for the entire sound system of your phone is different. So the layout is different. And then it has these dots that let you know the max you can go to. And you may be wondering, like, what is so different about it? Well, I have another Android phone here. Okay, this is my Vivo X Pro 3 Fold. And let's look at the volume sliders in comparison, because this is based on Android 14. So as you can see, there's a skinny small bar right here. And then you got this a little bit longer. It's up to you on that one. And then when we go into the actual volume menu, it has the tiny box. And it doesn't have any haptic feedback. So just in case you were wondering, on your old Android 14, that's what it looks like. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is the app drawer suggestion on the home screen. So if you go to your home screen, your app drawer, you notice that there are some suggested apps that you normally use on a daily basis. Maybe you don't want them there no more. So what you can also do is you can hold and tap, and then there's an option here that says don't suggest app. And if you hit that don't suggest, you won't see it up here anymore. Similar to the suggestions down here. More specifically, I have some apps down here on my foldable that, let's just say I don't want suggested. So let's say I go here and I hold it, and then it says app suggestion added to empty space. Oops, I can hold it and I can go to this button where it says do not suggest. And that's a, stop button or whatever that doesn't suggest it anymore. And then lastly, you can go tap on the home settings, and then you can go to your suggestions, and then you can see it's all turned on, and then you can go to your blocked apps. So there's nothing really blocked, or is it? And as you can see, these are the ones I blocked because they're checked. You can unblock them. And then I did Baseball 9, which is one of my favorite games. And there it is. And you can unblock them. So a neat feature if you want to clean up your home screen or your app drawer. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about are the widgets. So the widgets have changed a little bit. So let's go ahead and tap, hold, go to widgets. And the first thing you see when you update is that you have a glance of all of your suggested widgets, kind of like Google's News, where they show you the glance of whatever. And as you can see, I have 3 sections, and they don't have, they have some suggestions based on news and magazines, essentials, and then just things that are suggested for me, maybe based on what I do. So that's neat. And then also, if you go down into the widgets, and let's go open it back up, there is a, well, you're not going to see the drop down on the tablet unless you have a foldable, but you're going to see a drop down arrow now. And so for instance, if I go to the clock widget, it has 5 widgets. It shows a consolidated all of the widgets within that particular section. And now I don't have to tap and hold, which is what we use to drag widgets to the screen. Now I hit this middle area and then I hit add. So now I can just suggest what clock style, and then boom, it's already there. So nice little change up, you know, to the widgets on the home screen. Maybe big to you, maybe small to you, but a change nevertheless. All right, and then one of the last things on the home settings we're going to talk about is the multitasking. So the multitasking has changed a little bit. So right now, if you go to an app, let's say you got YouTube, and then you do a split screen, and then let's say I add my Gmail. So there's your traditional, you know, multitasking, and you can do it horizontal or vertical. Well, now, if you go to your recents and you see that you have your app suggestion, your multitasking, you can hold, tap and hold again. And now you can save that app pair, which is right here. Now, some of the versions of Android have had this feature, but now it's, I guess, the base part of Android. So I believe Samsung has that feature. Some of the other phones, you can save the app pairs, but now it's the base model for all Android phones when you get Android 15 installed. And as you can see, my 2 apps are still there. And then voila, saved app pairs. That was all the home settings and the wallpapers. So we're going to talk about what changed. So if we go to hold the home button and then we go to wallpapers and style, first thing we're going to talk about is different, which is added, is the color contrast. Now with this, you get a more brighter or more contrast wording on your phone. Now I have my light mode on, and as you can see, default, this is what it looks like. But if you go to medium contrast, you can see the preview of the medium contrast right here. And let's say you want a little bit higher contrast, this is what it's going to look like. So I'm going to leave it on high contrast because I like the way it looks. And then there's another option right here. You can add high contrast text. So you can change the text color to black or white, which maximizes the contrast with the background. So if I select it, okay, this is what it looks like. So as you can see, it's a little bit, you know, contrasty, if that's a word. And I'm just gonna turn it back because I don't want high contrast, but the color contrast, I'm gonna leave as high. And then as you can see, it is beautiful. So I can see pretty much everything in high contrast. All right, and another thing we're gonna talk about on the wallpapers are the actual wallpapers. So now we have just a slight change in our wallpapers. So let's go to the wallpapers and let's go to, you know, let's go to a new one. All right, so I have this one. So now we have a preview screen of all the wallpapers and what they're gonna look like on the home screen and the lock screen. So before you didn't have that. And let's see if I could show you an example of Android 14 and what it would look like when previewing the wallpapers. Now this is a little different because we're using FunTouch OS on the Vivo, but I'm trying to see if there's a preview screen. Okay, so this is what a traditional preview screen on the wallpaper would look like. You would see the full screen, and you can actually preview it on the full screen. But as you can see, you don't know what it looks like on the lock screen or whatnot. And when you hit apply, you would have to select home, lock screen, all these above. Well, Google has simplified it with Android 15. You can see what it looks like on all screens, even foldable on the outside screen, inside when it's closed, inside, outside when you fully unload it. And then when you hit set wallpaper, it shows all of them consolidated right here. And then you can just hit set and it is done. Okay, that's what it looks like when you have it unlocked. And when it's locked, this is what it looks like. Okay. All right, guys. Wallpaper settings. Those are the updates on Android 15. Now to the fun part, the settings. So this is where you're going to get most of your material changes, your big changes in Android 15. So the first thing we're going to talk about is settings, and we're going to go to the settings. And the first settings we're going to talk about are the sound settings. So now a new addition for Android 15. Oh, did I hit sound? Okay, here we go. Is vibration and haptics and adaptive vibration. So in this setting, you can turn this on and it will vibrate according to the surface. So if I'm on a hard surface, it will vibrate less. But if I'm on a soft surface like a couch, as you can see here, it will vibrate louder, so you can actually find it. But all you have to do is go to the sound settings and then turn that on. And then when things vibrate, it will vibrate based on the environment. So that's nice, cool settings. The next setting we're going to talk about is the theft protection. So we go back to settings. And this is under security, but I'm just going ahead and type it in. Theft protection. So with theft protection, this will lock, the screen will lock if it detects that somebody ran and took away your device, like a purse snatcher. Cool. And you can turn this on, and once this is turned on, the only way you can turn it off is if you use your thumbprint, as you can see, which is mine's on the side. But when you turn this on, this phone cannot be unlocked. You can find and erase it. You can do whatever, but this theft protection makes your phone much more secure. So that's a nice, neat setting. The next setting we're going to talk about is the privacy space. So if you go to settings and you go to type in privacy space. Now this is under security. So you could go ahead and, look under security to find this in privacy. And then you go to private space. Now under private space, you can download apps that you don't want the lame person or the public to see. So you can go into this space that's within your security, and you can set it up. As you can see, it sets up a private space, and I can download apps and I can add pictures, videos that the person who is not the owner of the phone. You can hide stuff from them, or you don't want, just anybody to look at certain pictures or photos. You could go ahead and do that. And you would essentially set up like you're setting up a new phone. You would just put your, email address. You can set up your Google App Store in here, and we're not going to go through it, but essentially this is a good way to protect all your data. And this is the equivalent to Android's, I want to say, secure folder under Samsung. So private space, secure folder, one and the same. Now it's the basic, it is the basic Android on the new phones whenever you receive it going forward, but it has Android 15. And the last thing we're going to talk about is the Bluetooth settings. So in Bluetooth, I like to sometimes turn it off because I'm on the plane, or the plane actually, when you put on airplane mode, it turns off. But if you go to settings under your Bluetooth, and we're going to do that here. And then we go to Bluetooth. Okay, let's say I turn it off. Well, now we have an option here that says automatically turn on. tomorrow, because sometimes I forget to turn on my Bluetooth, and half of my Bluetooth headphones or watch is not turned on. So now this is automatically turned on, or you can turn it on yourself to turn on the Bluetooth options for you. So neat feature, but that's pretty much it. So we went over the home settings, and we went over the wallpaper, and then just settings in general. And those are pretty much the biggest updates on Android 15. Let me know what you think in the comment below. Is this a fairly sizable update? Is this monumental to you? Does this make your life better, more productivity? Let me know in the comments below. And please do not forget to like and subscribe this channel. All you gotta do is hit that bell and that button below, and you'll get access to all my videos and updates, because we got some really nice things coming forward in the next couple days. But this is Juleon with Juleon Tech Reviews. Peace.